Hey everybody, Morgan SLV here, 12/21/2010. How's everybody doing? You know, everybody's gearing up for Christmas. I know we're gearing up for it around here, having lots of family get-togethers and whatnot. And so let's go over gold and silver real quick. $13.85 for gold, $29.34 for silver, holding steady. And what I wanted to go over today is, you know, I really enjoy watching James Turk, and he was going over some of the similarities that the Weimar Republic was going through at the time that they had their hyperinflation and what we're going through, and some of the similarities. And some of the stuff he came up with was this. It was about a decade. It was about 8 to 9 years for their currency to fully collapse before it went into, you know, hyperinflation. And, you know, I don't know if you guys know this. I thought this was kind of a interesting fact to find out. At the end, towards the very end of their collapse, towards the peak of their collapse, you know, they were printing money so fast that they weren't even printing the backside of their bills. Can you imagine that? They needed currency so fast that they weren't printing the back. That is incredible, and hence you have a picture of the old lady with you know, a wheelbarrow full of money. She goes in to buy bread, comes back, the money's on the ground, and somebody had stolen the wheelbarrow. That is kind of incredible. That's an incredible thought. The other thing is, you know, at the time, you know, they were afraid of deflation as well. And so if you listen to Bernanke, he says, well, we need just a little bit more inflation to kickstart this economy. Well, first of all, I disagree with that completely. You know, one of the things that a lot of you that may have thought your government was on your side, you know, that hurts. You know, that really hurts fixed income people. You know, I'm somewhat fixed, I guess. I mean, I have a job and I have a business, but I mean, you know, it goes up and down, and I haven't raised my rates. You know, I'm already what I feel is fairly expensive for what I do. And you know, as gas prices are creeping up, and you know, the cost of sugar, cotton, wheat, you know, goes up, you know, it's going to affect us all, right? It's just not a good scenario. So I don't believe we need inflation, but they were worried about that. And so what happened was they got on that treadmill of trying to avoid inflation, and they were afraid to get off. And we all know what happened in that case. Bernanke is trying to head off deflation. So he's built up the Fed's balance sheet to, you know, for this expected battle of deflation, right? He wants to make sure he can flood the market with our funny money. So it's once again he's kind of, that's a similarity between us and Weimar. Okay, according to James Turk, more QE is on the you know, they're already, here's what's wild. So we're going to do QE2, and I guess it's $800 billion, and they expect it to be injected into the economy by sometime around June. Well, okay, that is a different story and a different program all in itself, is where the money's going to go. I don't think we're going to see a dime of it, at least not us working folks. That leads us to the road, you know, of hyperinflation via James Turk. He says, you know, once they get on that treadmill, just like they did back then in the 20s, you know, they're afraid to get off it. Once again, I think there's a half dozen people running the planet, and I think that's their ultimate goal is to make us as weak as possible, i.e. that's why we invest in silver, isn't it? The real threat to Americans, according to James Turk, is the fact that our jobs are going offshore. When you send jobs offshore, what else goes offshore? GDP, right? It's not a good thing. I have here, this is my own thought. If you think that because you're educated that this stuff really isn't going to affect you, let's kind of go over this for a second. Let's see how this plays out. One scenario is a person who is smart but has a blue-collar job gets laid off because his business has been sent overseas. Well, maybe that person will go ahead and finish up whatever schooling that he needed to become, let's say, a dentist or a doctor. Now all of a sudden you're a higher educated person with an above average income, and now you have additional players in your field who are willing to work for less. So once again, that is one of those unintended consequences that may or may not happen due to the fact that jobs are leaving. Trust me, if the people aren't leaving, they're going to still be here and need work, right? And not all of us want to work for peanuts. So you'll end up having competition for your job. So, that's kind of a scenario that is playing out, right? Where it's, all these unintended consequences. Now, one of the things that I want to do, a couple things that I'm trying to let you guys know, and a couple things I'm doing for myself, is I believe if you don't have a dream, you're dead. And so I have some dreams. I have dreams of helping people. I have dreams of moving out on the 20 acres that our family owns, one day, and having my friends and family there. I know that was a very fond memory for me. I was poor growing up, but the thing I liked is all my family were on like the same street. And I didn't know we were poor, but we were. And the bottom line is I'd like to see families, get together. That's one unintended consequence of me not being as busy as I used to be with work, is I get to see my kids a little bit more, and that's kind of nice. Now, as far as dreaming goes, you guys know that I'm a drag race nut. I'm a hot rod nut. You guys, most of you have seen my car. If you haven't, look at a couple of my older videos. One of them says Godzilla Run, which is basically my car. It's just kind of a joke. And, it's a pretty vicious ride. It's about 600 horsepower on pump gas. It's an X990 drag car, and that I, kind of painted and put some headlights and taillights on it. I believe, you drive what you build. One of the things that I plan to do, though, and this is just kind of a lighter note, because, you always got a dream. If my business takes off like I want it to, my new venture that I'm doing online, I'm going to build this motor right here. It'll be almost exact. It'll be almost identical to this motor. This is a small block. This is a small block 427 GM. Basically, it's a crate engine, but it's one of their race line. It's this particular motor is built by Nelson Racing Engines, and it's a twin turbo deal, and it runs on pump gas and race fuel. So it has it's computer driven. It has a crank trigger. It has coil packs, so there's never no detonation and whatnot. And I don't know how much of this is going over everybody's head, but you gearheads out there know what I'm talking about. The thing I like about it is they drove a vehicle with this particular engine package from Las Vegas to San Francisco. Got 19 miles to the gallon. It's got on full boost, on race gas, which the computer does on its own, is 1,700 horsepower. Say it with me. 1,700 horsepower. Pretty cool. All right, joke of the day. Got a dream, right? Joke of the day. My printer's kind of messed up, so I'll read through this as best I can. Bob was in trouble. He forgot his wedding anniversary. His wife was really pissed. She told him, tomorrow morning I expect to see a gift in the driveway that goes 0 to 200 in 6 seconds or less, and it better be there. The next morning, he got up early and left to work. His wife woke up, she looked out the window, and sure enough in the driveway was a package, all gift wrapped. Confused, his wife put on her robe, ran out to the driveway, brought the package in the house. She opened it up and found it was a brand new bathroom scale. Bob hasn't been seen since Friday. Morgan SLV out.